Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. This is Chapstick. This is cake batter, scented and flavored. Picked it at random. I haven't been asleep yet, and I need to at least lay down and try. What's on my face right now? Fenty brow pencil. Check this out, y'all. Fenty brow pencil. Used it today. It is clicking up no more. Like, this is it. I think I have at least 2 more. I don't like to have less than 2 because I go through them like quick, like in months. But I'm sure I at least have 1 more. I do think 2. So I'm going to have to buy some more backups. Fenty primer. Excuse me, Fenty foundation. I wear shade 335. I set my face with the Fashion Fair Set It Loose powder and Truly Tawny, which is translucent on me. And then I used the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush face highlighting and contour palette, but there's nothing contouring about this. Look at this. There's no contours in here, but we used everything in here. So the first thing I did was, this is a cream highlight. That's up here. Cream blush. That's here. I went in with this highlight, which this one says diamond powder. So that's here, y'all. You see that. And then we put the blush, the powder blush here. We took the Glow Extreme and just put that everywhere. And then we took Citrus, which is a powder. This is the Duochrome. And I tried to do the thing instead of just right here. And it was so, you can still see it up here like this. So it's only just right here because this can be a lot. And because this wasn't blending out, and because I also did not have on a bronzer yet, I took the Esum, and I only used one thing in here this time. This one here at the bottom, and put that here, around here, my nose, corners, and it still looks like it needs to be buffed out more. But I did concentrate more like right here, because you see this citrus spot like that? So that might be why it looks like it's more there, because I was really just trying to like blend it, and it wasn't. And I know some people do take highlighter up here and around, but I think for me, I'm going to just stick like right here, because yeah. So that's what's on my face right now. And one more thing that's on my face is the NYX Retractable Eyeliner in Deep Blue. This is lower lash line and lower and upper waterlines. And so we're going to jump into the look. I'm still experimenting with a primer, and the first time I used it, it went really well. The second time it creased horribly, and the other new primer I tried, because I did one on each eye, creased really bad too. And I'm thinking maybe I didn't blend it out properly, because I'm used to being able to see where the Fenty is, and because both of these new ones are clear, I couldn't see it, and they both creased. And the one I'm using today creased really bad. The first time I used it, it didn't. The second time, first time it didn't crease at all. The second time I used it, it creased really bad. And the other primer creased really bad. The other primer I used in the look, I think it was when I did the Quint pairing. The Pat McGrath Quints. I paired 2 Quints. I used it for that one. I made sure to put more on, and there was no creasing. Everything was fine. So this one, we're going to put this on both lids. I'm still going to use lipstick applicators with it, because I just want to be sure about this primer before I take the wand out and touch it to my face. But it doesn't irritate my lids, and so that is very, very promising. And I'm thinking if I were to use the wand, it would be easier to get enough of this on. And because I blend it out with a brush, the brush may or may not be absorbing it, but I don't think so. So that's shiny like that. Like that is really there, and it's like even here on this part of the sponge tip. So not sponge tip, lipstick applicator. I kept calling it a sponge tip in one of the other videos too. I was really out of it in whatever video it was, because I kept putting over here like what it was that I meant to say. And by the 3rd time, I'm just like, girl, you are just all over the place. And so that is that. So I'm going to throw that away. Sorry if I elbowed you or shouldered you in the face. We're going to put that primer down. I didn't pull out a brush to blend it out, so I'm just going to grab this brush. This is just a random Real Techniques brush. And it's probably a concealer brush. Yeah, it is. So we're just going to blend this out. And then we're going to jump into the look. Crazy Troll Nation, the abbreviated version. Crazy, just enjoying yourself, knowing it's okay to be you, even if you know you're different than other people, or it seems like you're different than most people. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. Wear what you want to, however you want to, and just rock it, regardless of what you hear people say. You need this, you need that. No, you don't. You set the standard for yourself. So that's the basic concept. The self-acceptance, self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, but never feeling like you have to, wearing what you want to, however you want to, and just rocking it. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. That's what we stand for here. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you've been here with me for a while, thank you. I appreciate you. Did I say I curse sometimes on my channel for the new peoples? I do, because I curse sometimes, period. So I should have showed you the palette first before I primed my lids. But this is not a sticky primer. And I think that's what happened before, is I put it on and then I was talking, and I think maybe it started drying and started creasing in my crease. That's really what I think happened. So it doesn't feel sticky. Like with the Fenty, I can tell when it's sticky, and I'm like, let me hurry up, excuse me, get shadows on. But these, because they're not sticky, I can't tell. So, but I'll make sure to blend it again. Natasha Denona Triochrome, my new one, quote unquote, because I changed some things. I want to hold it where I hold it upright so I don't confuse myself. And I did type labels to put in the palette so I know what is what. These 4 shades right here are from Triochrome. These 4 right here are from the Dion Quint. These 4 shades here are from the Alloy Quint. These 3 in this row are from the Fez palette. So this is what we did. This is what we got. And I looked at this and I thought, oh, I can do this row, that row. And I'm like, wait a minute. Except for the top row, I've done this row because that's the Quint. I've done this row because that's the Quint. And I was looking at these like, what look could I do with that? But y'all know I would think of something. And so I tried to mix up the colors and not just go by rows, you know, by Quint, and by Quint. And so, excuse me, I'm hoping I don't confuse myself. So we're going to take Lash Line, which is from the Ayana palette, which is this shade right here. And I don't like that they call it Lash Line. Another one was called Stain. The other one is called Crease. I'm just like, okay, whatever. So we're taking Lash Line, and that's going to go on the second half of the lid. So yes, well, let me blend this out again. We are going to be layering, and I'm hoping it turns out nice. And I know I say that a lot because I really don't know. I really just don't. So we're going to put this on the second half of the... Wow. This looks like Blackthorn from Swamp of Sorrows. I am still so torn about that palette. It's just crazy, and I'm thinking I just need to keep it because I keep going back and forth and keep arguing with myself. It's a wonderful palette. The colors are pigmented. 2 of them make me look dusty. 2 look the same on me. But the other 4, 5 shades look really nice. And the formula is really nice. I just know I wouldn't get a lot out of it, a lot of different looks out of it. But I have been trying to get different looks out of it. That's nice, but it got patchy like right here when I was blending it. So I'm gonna just tap in. This is a different type of primer. Like, it is very smooth. It doesn't, I don't know if it's wet or if it just looks wet. Because like in here, I'm seeing, yeah, it is a little wet. I think I might have put too much. I overcompensated from thinking I didn't put enough last time. Or I really do think I didn't blend it properly. Or creased in my crease before I put the shadow on it. And so I'm not having any patchiness or anything in my crease area. But this is what we got. I want to blend up here. I don't have a brow bone shade. But when I'm blending up there, it's looking like it's patchy. Okay, I think that's good. All right, now we're going to come over here and do the same thing over here. Oh, I am going to bring out Swamp of Sorrows because I want to show you Blackthorn. I do think it's deeper than this, though. That shade is rich. Oh, my Lord. I love it. And I love how the orange and the yellow show up on me and the green. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to just end up keeping it because I'm just arguing too much with myself about it. And you guys are probably like, here she go again talking about that palette. And also because it hides from me. And some of the shades, well, not some of the shades. See, when I blended it like this, that's what happened on the other side. It just disappeared. So we're going to pat some more right here. This primer has a learning curve to it. So when I pack it, you see it's fine. Now watch. And now it's not going to do it. Yeah, it did it. You see that? Maybe I think I might have put too much this time. But you see what I'm saying when I go like this with the tip of the brush. Now that ain't doing it. Well, it's kind of patchy like right here. So let me just pat. I do think I put too much. I put more than I put the first 2 times I tried it. It's a learning curve to it. But if I was using a wand, I just would have put, you know, swiped it on both lids and not dip back in where I did put a lot. And I'm hoping that doesn't make it patchy in the crease or crease in the crease. But it doesn't irritate my lids. That's the main thing. And I didn't have like a lot of fallout either. So we're going to put that brush down. Swamp of Sorrows really quick. I was going to say, did I do the intro? This is Blackthorn. This shade right here. Look at that. That shade is so freaking rich. I'm going to hold it up against Lash Line. But Lash Line in here looks like a grayish. Where is it? This is Lash Line. I don't know if it's my lighting or what, but it looks like it's a grayish, right? But look on my lid. When I put this, yeah, Blackthorn is deeper. But if I blend it out enough, it can almost look like this. And that's another thing I've been thinking too, is one of the looks I did looked like something I could have gotten with not Swamp of Sorrows, this is Swamp of Sorrows. Sephora Cosmetics palette, but the looks would not have been identical. And the Swamp of Sorrows palette, the looks were a lot deeper because the colors are richer. But, excuse me, Swamp of Sorrows, not Swamp of Sorrows, Sephora Cosmetics Forest Heart, it has a lot of bold, bright shimmers in it. So you can do more with it, but then it's the 15-pan palette. That one's only 8, and 2 of those look the same. So it's only really 7. Now we're going to take Scrap, this shade here, and this is from Triochrome, and we're going to put that here on the first half of the lid, and I'm hoping it looks okay. I'm always hoping something looks okay. I'm going to take this, because this is like shiny right here. I do really think I put too much, but I think once I get the hang of it, meaning I just use it from the wand, I think it's going to be fine, because I dipped 2 different lipstick applicators. Lipstick applicator, put it in, put it on the lid, put that down, took a brand new lipstick applicator and put that in the tube and put that on the lid, because I didn't want to double dip in case I do end up giving it away. I can say the wand has not touched my skin. That almost looks like the same shade, and this looks patchy like right there. Y'all, this is the brush that had that first shade on it. And when I lift my brows, like this looks patchy up here. And like over here. I don't understand. Okay, let me just. Alright, Scrap for this eye. I'm kind of surprised that these almost look the same. This definitely is green. And y'all knew I was going to keep that one because it's can be grungy, and y'all know I like the grunge and I like dark. This, okay, let me just, I did have a shade. Oh, did I have a shade for brow bone? I'm not sure, but these, they blend nice together. They almost look like they can be the same shade. Certain angles, this looks patchy over here, but it might be the lighting, because like here is dark, then it's light, and then you have that shade, and even when I turn here, I see like a line right there. I don't understand. This is a brush that had that first shade on it. I didn't put extra color on it. I'm just patting it because I'm just not. And you know, we're layering something over top of Scrap, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, so this is the first shade on outer corner. This is, well, second half of the lid. This is the first half of the lid. They don't look that much different, but they really are. So now we're going to take Glam Green this shade here, and this is from the Ayana palette, the one that showed up. It showed up weird on me because it looks silver, and it did show up kind of greenish, but now that we're putting it over green, we'll see what it's going to look like. But I remember liking it. I was just like, okay, it looks, to my eye, it looks silver. But it does have a hint of green in it, but this is it on the brush. So to me, it still looks, can you see it? To me, it still looks silver. Me pretending I have zoom. So we're going to put this here. Oh, and it is bringing out the green. But you know what? This is how it looked when I put it over just primer before. I wonder what this will look like over a base. So we're taking this all the way out to like right here. And we're leaving the outer corner, that part dark. I like this. This is what I was hoping it was going to look like. I should have left the inner portion blank and put this on there to see the difference, but this, I like it. I like it. I'm trying to decide if I want to take a nap. I need to go out and make a pickup, but as I said, I have not been asleep yet. And I'm doing this look now because I have a look to do later, because I double booked my day unintentionally as far as doing looks. And I'm just trying to bank some because when I go away, I know I'm not doing any. I don't think I'm going to do any the entire time I'm there. I'm not even sure if I'm going to take makeup. I know I'm not taking my tripod. The only thing I'm traveling with is my large laptop bag, because they want to charge you for a carry-on. And I'm just like, I'm not paying extra. This flight to Texas cost me about $800 and something. I'm like, I'm not paying for nothing I don't need to pay for. I just don't. And I think part of the reason is because it's a smaller flight and there's a layover. I hate layovers. And when the flight is only like an hour, hour and a half, it is usually a smaller plane, and smaller planes have less space. And so as a deterrent, let's charge for every single bag except your purse or your laptop. And so I understand, you know, why. Well, I think that's why they did it. I'm going to take that first brush. Which one had that dark shade on it? We're going to tap into that first shade just a little bit and put some more over here. And so I think that's why they do that. That's what makes sense in my mind, to deter people from bringing extra stuff. People like me who are like, I ain't paying extra. I mean, I done paid $800 something to go to Texas. I've never in my life spent that much to go to Texas. When I went to St. Martin years ago before COVID, that ticket was only like $8 something. But that's, you know, you need a passport to go over there. And when I went to Hawaii, that was expensive. That was like almost $1,000. But Texas, come on now. I used to fly back and forth to Texas for like $250. And now it's like, and I know everything is going up. This is a skin issue. When I bring my shadow out this far, there's always like a gap right there. And there is a mole right there too, so that throws me off. So where you see that little circle, actually a freckle, mole freckle. That's that little mark. And it throws me off because I'm thinking it's a patch from the shadow. But it's not. I like how this look is looking. What else am I going to do? So we have the liner on lower lash line. So now we're going to take... I do have a shadow for brow bone, but we're going to see. I think I might need to blend that out some more. We're going to take Acrobat. This is from, I wanted to say Circle Loco because it isn't Circle Loco, but this was also in the Fez palette. So this one in here is from the Fez palette. So we're going to take that and we're going to put that under our eyes. And I know the top is green, but I said we're going to do color. And so we're doing color. Ooh. And I'm thinking I'm going to put Slate, which is blue, on my upper lash line. This is bold, y'all. Let me know if you would do this. If your top was olive greeny and brown. Oh, that got in my eye. Would you put a blue on your lower lash line? But I am going to... I was reading the text. I am going to put a blue on the upper lash line, too. So at least that'll tie in. And I want to laugh saying that because I don't like the matchy-matchy, but I like this. That got in my eye too. Damn. So that means my eyes are going to be tearing. So, oh, let me buff this out. Take a brush with no shadow on it. And we're going to just lightly go, not even that lightly, circular motions. See what a difference. So this is, it kind of looks the same. I was going to say this is blended. This is not blended, but the only difference I see is this area right here. This side is more blended. So we're going to small circular motions just to bring that up a little bit further. Well, not even to bring it up a little bit further, but just to blend it. But it's going to bring it up a little further because we're going to small circular motions. If you just want to move a shadow side by side, that's when you do the windshield wiper, which is what I could have did. This will just take it side by side and blend it. If you want to take it up or down, blending it this way will take it upward. And if you're blending it downward, it'll blend it downward. So those are some blending tips for you. And so it does look a little different. I really don't even think I need a brow bone color. What shade did I have for brow bone? I didn't pull out a brush for that. I'm going to take this brush. Which one is Vert? Because I got to keep looking at my notes. Oh, this is Vert. This is from, I don't know, y'all. This is from Triochrome. But you know what? I don't remember it showing up that way. And now that I've said it, we're going to try and do a thin line right here. This is kind of a Swamp of Sorrows look too. I'm going to pull it out again because of how these shades are showing up in combination with each other. So we're just going on the line here. So we're not even going up to our brow bone. I could feel both my eyes tearing from that shadow. So we're just on the line of the top edge. She is cute. She cute, he cute, they cute. This is cute. Wow. Oh, that shadow was powdery. Damn. Oh my gosh. So pulling out Swamp of Sorrows again. Excuse me. Even though we did layer to do this, we put that matte olivey green and then we put glam green on top of it. But looking at the green, which one? Which one is which? This is a matte, this is a metallic. This is definitely richer. This palette is rich. So this is definitely richer. But if you wanted a toned down version, this could do that. And Blackthorn outer corner. Now that we just packed a little bit more just on the outer corner, that does look like Blackthorn. And for upper lash line, not upper lash line, I need some sleep. My brow bone area, Vert that we put there, that can be this one. So if you have this palette, lightly put Blackthorn or just put Blackthorn, second half of the lid, take this metallic green and put on the first half of the lid, take some of this lightly and just do the top edge. So you can do this with that. But I will say, this palette is more rich. This is more rich. You saw it when I put them next to each other. This one is not even that same shade. Let me, oh goodness. I don't know why I be thinking to do stuff like last minute. So this is Vert, this right here. And this is Enlightenment, this yellowish shade here. They are not, oh shoot, can I hold these up? They are not even the same. But on my skin, they show up the same. And maybe because I usually put them next to a green, I don't know. But to me, these do show up the same unless I put Enlightenment, the yellow here, like on by itself. I have shadow in my eye. And that's something I haven't did. So maybe I will do that. Do a look maybe with these two shades. But then that's just two matte shades. And y'all know I like to do a whole lot more than that with my looks. But anyway, so that's what kind of stumps me with this palette is what else can I do with it? And I keep trying to think of what else can I do with it because the shades are rich. But this look can be a lighter version of what I can do with this. Excuse me, hiccup and troll so rude to the people. At least, excuse me. And so that's what stumps me too, is because I feel like I can do similar looks, even though it would be more rich with Swamp of Sorrows. And then I can always use it too as a companion palette because it's small and it hides from me. It's not in the way. We're going to take Slate, which to me, sometimes it shows a blue, sometimes it don't. Sometimes it just shows up like a dark something that's non-black. Yo, I saw that they had 2 new gel liners. But I don't just want to order just 2 liners. I think one was orange, which I don't need an orange. Well, I don't need any of this. It's just makeup. It's a luxury and a privilege to have. And this line came out thicker than I wanted. I don't need an orange because I have Kultura. And if I wanted a muted version of that, I have Contemplative State. But then they also had a red. And so I'm curious how that red would look in comparison to the red that I have from Inglot. But then I don't want to have 2 red gel liners open because number one, they last years and years, or until they irritate my eyes. But I haven't thrown away even any of my MAC fluid lines or my MAC paint pots yet. And MAC stuff does last for years. They don't, most of their products, they don't put a POA on. And if you look it up, the regulation is if your product lasts more than, I think, 30 months or 36 months, you don't have to put a POA on it. So that tells you MAC stuff lasts a long time, at least a good 3 years, or supposed to after you open it. You can also look up the batch number of your cosmetic item, not just MAC, but any cosmetic item. I forget what the website is, but when you put in the batch number, it'll tell you when it was made and when it should expire, which to me was kind of confusing in a way, because if something has a POA on it, they may give you a different time frame, or it may say, you know, 2 to 4 years or like something like that. So it may not be like, today is October 10th, 2023. It wouldn't say October 10th, 2023, but or it'll just say, you know, 2 to 3 years from manufacturer's date or something like that. But it's really interesting, just looking up stuff. And I know a lot of people keep stuff longer, including me, if it's powder products, not so much gel products, because they do tend to turn on me. And I do believe part of it is I just have sensitive skin. But if it's just like a regular everyday powder eyeshadow, I can wear that, you know, for years. But if it's like a creamy matte, Natasha Denona creamy matte, or some of Nomad shades because they're creamier, that POA hits, or sometimes a couple months before or a couple months after I put it on, my lids be itching and burning. Like, seriously. But again, it may just be because I have sensitive skin. Because some people, they're like, oh, I had this palette for 10 years and it still works fine. I'm like, what? I'm living vicariously through you. And my lids is like, troll, no. And so, I don't know anybody who actually gets rid of stuff when it says it should be gotten rid of. Like when the POA comes, if it still looks the same and I'm comfortable using it and the texture hasn't changed, I'll keep a powder product a little bit longer. This wing is a lot thicker. You know what? And this one is down here. I had trouble getting this blue, deep blue gel liner like in that space right there. I mean, not the gel liner, the pencil liner. So I'm going to put this here and see if that'll go in that spot. Yeah, it did. But my eyes tear, so it's not going to, this might stay connected. The melt liners are ultra matte, and when I go to take them off, yo, I gotta work. I gotta put in some work. I'm trying to make this a little bit thicker because I like how the other side is, but I don't want to keep trying too much and then it look crazy, as if I'm not used to looking crazy. We're going to leave that just like that. What are we going to do for a lip? I'm just going to grab, because the POA, I do get rid of mascaras. The POA for the Hella Thicc is this month, so we're going to use that. It hasn't been irritating my lids, not my lids, my eyes. I do get rid of mascaras. Some POAs are 6 months for mascaras, some are 9, some are 12. I received the mascara in a subscription box. It said 24 months. I'm like, what the hell is in this thing? I have never seen a mascara aside from that one that the POA was 24 months. And for me, because I do go through, well, I do use my mascaras. I seldom finish one because I have more than one open. What I do finish, I finish face primers, foundations, eyebrow pencil, because I only have one eyebrow pencil that I use. I finish eye primers. I think that might be kind of it. I can't even think of what else I finished. I have yet to even pan a shadow. I don't pan face products because I'm allergic to nickel. So once I hit pan, it breaks my face out and itches my skin. And so for like blushes, highlighters, and stuff like that, I never even get that far. So lip, what are we gonna do for a lip? I am digging this look, and I like the blue underneath lower lash line because it breaks up the green on the top. I would definitely do this again. No creasing, no signs of potential creasing. I would say Sea Queen, but Sea Queen is a lighter blue, and I don't want to do that. This is Black Cherry. Yeah, I was thinking if I wanted to do Eleanor, which is green. Do I want it? What are we? This one. So we're not doing a matchy-matchy with the eyeshadow and the lip. So I'm going to see if I can put this on quickly without needing to edit. Part of me wants to go ahead and go pick up what I need to pick up. But then I feel like if I did that, even though I wake up every 90 minutes or so, I feel like I would just keep going back to sleep. Whereas if I lay down, even if I just rest for a couple hours, even if I don't fall asleep, when I get up, go do my pickup, and I've already planned to go to Salad Works for lunch. Come back home and eat, and then maybe take another nap. This is not even, like, this color consistency. This right here looks darker than over there, and my lip line under here is jacked up. So we're gonna actually go all the way in and try and get some color consistency. I noticed with the black, when I used Max Caviar, I didn't have that problem. And I think it's only some of these Sephora ones where I do have to go back in to get the color the same. I don't know if it's how the wand picks up or is it a formula. I don't know. We're gonna leave this like this. This is the look, y'all. This is the look. And I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I am really excited that I put some Quints in here, took out the Triochrome shades that I just knew I was not going to use. And I like this palette. And because it is different Quints, let me just hold it upside down. You can do, well, you can do this row. And if you didn't know what to do, like I did with this, well, I didn't know what to do. I planned it, but if you did a look like this, that was like a neutralish look with a dark corner, you can pop that on lower lash line. This is a look, and even though this is from the Fez palette, that fits in with that row. This as a row, I don't know. But I was looking at it thinking, this column can be an easy 3 shadow look. This column can be an easy 3 shadow look, only because for me this doesn't show up. So this will be like on the lid and then like the inner corner or first half of the lid, and use this for transition maybe. This can be an easy matte look, because all of these are mattes. Put this on outer corner, first half of the lid, second half of the lid, and maybe top it with this one, or top it with that one, and put this as your transition, so it's not, you know, a 3 shadow matte look. But I was looking at it today, like, this is a really nice palette. This right here can be a look. This quad right here can be a look. These 4 right here can be a look. What else am I seeing? These 4 right here can be a look. And this maybe as a topper. What I'm thinking is like this all over the lid, and put this how we just left a little bit of the black over here. Well, it wasn't black, but what shade was that? Lash line. How we just left a little bit of the dark over here in the corner. Put this all over the lid. Top it with this, but just only to like 2/3 of the way over. Put this, you know, as your brow bone or transition if you do a regular transition shade. I think this is really cute. I'm really glad that I did this. And so, yes, I do anticipate getting a lot more use out of my new Triochrome palette. And I'm really digging it. I'm really feeling it. I think the blue was nice underneath, and it does tie in for what you can see upper lash line, even though out here I can see the blue always, but over my mobile lid lash line part, to me it just kind of looks black still. But I think the lip was a good touch too. I love how vert looks up here, and that is really how that I think it was Enlightenment looks from Swamp of Sorrows. I keep saying I'm gonna stop talking about that palette, but I'm just so torn about it. The cheek situation was good because even though it was glowy, it's not any colors to compete with the eye look. Is this creasing? Why is this feeling wet? That's feeling a little bit wet. My eye is tearing, and it's tearing upward from when that shadow puffed up in my eye. Damn it. This side is dry, but this side is wet. Yeah, it's wet like right. It's wet right here. So I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so yeah, I do think the cheek was a nice look. And again, we did use everything in the Diamond and Blush Citrus palette. We used all 6 of these. I am digging it. I don't know if it'll ever come back. This says it expires January. So we'll see how the formula is. And I did notice today, the blush is looking kind of funky. It's looking a little chunky. The texture of this blush, that used to not look like that. And so those are things I look for. Is it looking different than it looked before? And this one here, but this is a glow powder. This one says diamond powder. So it looked funky before, but it's looking a little more funky than it looked before. And on camera where you're looking, it's not really showing up, but in person it just looks like a lot of little pieces. And the thing with keeping things longer is that people say, oh, you know, it grew mold. Mold doesn't grow overnight. And I don't want to wait to see mold or to see bumps or to see what looks like something's growing out of there, because then by then it's too late. You know what I mean? And so that's the reason why for cream products and liquids, mascara, stuff like that, liquid lipsticks, I get rid of stuff around the time when it says I should, because Troll got sensitive skin, and I don't want to wait, because if I wait till it gives me a reaction, that means whatever's happening has been happening. It didn't just happen overnight. So anyway, I'm going to go because I went off on a rant. Thank you for being here. Let me know what you think it is. Look, the lash line underneath, the glow thing, and citrus, you can still see it. It's like, y'all, citrus ain't no joke. And the lip, all of that. Let me know what makeup you're excited about. If you've mixed palettes, like how these are 4 different, 4 different quints are in here. If you've done that to a palette, let me know if it excites you. Like once you see the finished product, does it excite you and renew your motivation to use those shadows? If you're a person with a large single shadow collection, I'm sure you probably feel that way all the time, because you pick your shadows and put your palette together and then do your face. But to have this like this is going to stay this way. I'm not good at just picking singular shadows like every day and saying this is a look I'm going to do. I need to see stuff laid out, because then I can look at it how I was looking at this one and saying this would be a nice quad. That would be a nice quad. I can look at it and see looks where it's just pulling single shadows. I'm like, I don't know what goes with what. I really don't. Unless it's monochromatic, And I'm not geared towards monochromatic looks. But anyway, I'm really going to go this time. I'm excited and I'm sleep deprived. And I think I'm starting to get hungry. This is not a good combination. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, welcome. I have a few new subscribers. I see you. I appreciate you. Feel free, all of you who are watching me. Like the video, thumbs up, don't thumbs down. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. If you're interested in joining, there's a link, a leak. I am not Natasha Denona or Pat McGrath. Leaking stuff. Shade. Yes, I threw it. There's a link below to click to join, but the link tells you what the perks are. And then if you want to join, then you have to click something else. And so don't be afraid to click the link because it doesn't automatically do it. And also, I have an Amazon link that's always down below. If you're an Amazon shopper, I would appreciate it if you use my Amazon link. It's linked to the Coty lotion. You don't have to buy the lotion. The link just gets you on the website, and I put it to go to the lotion, but you don't have to get the lotion. But once you click the link, anything on Amazon will count towards your purchase, and it is an affiliated link, so please do know that. So if you are an avid Amazon shopper or just once in a while, feel free to save the link. And, you know, when you think to shop Amazon, click the link and just get whatever it is that you want to get. There's a lot of links to a lot of things below, websites, stores, products. What's on my face will be down below. Some of the links are not affiliated, but the majority of them, I believe, are. So that will be it for this video. Thank you for being here. I think that's everything. Oh, I didn't say also comment. Comments are always welcome. And as always, my troll kin, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.